Hey, Facebook, great morning to y'all. Hey. All right, so our non-essentials shut down today at 6 o'clock. So I got to go run and pick up some of the things from the non-essential places. But I wanted to hop on here really quickly, share with you guys a few things that I recommend. And this is for those of you who want to make sure that you're maximizing this time with everything that is going on. Hey, Miss Keish. And so I'm going to share with you guys a couple of recommendations that I would give to you guys, especially entrepreneurs, business owners, and even those who are not entrepreneurs, those of you who have a desire to do something from home, but you've been working all this time and you haven't had the time to put into it, and you just couldn't focus on it. Be safe, sis. I'm running out and running right back in, but our non-essentials shut down today at 6 here in Memphis. So I got to go pick up last little bit of remnants before they shut us in and shut us down. But I'm going to share with y'all, I'm going to take y'all with me because I got to run a couple of errands and I don't have a lot of time. I'm trying to get it done at the beginning of the day, but I'm going to share with you guys a couple of recommendations that I suggest that you focus on and some lessons learned that we can learn that's happening right now that I believe that many of us can still implement while we're going through this process. All right. So I'm back out real quick. So here's one of the first things that I want to share with you guys that I recommend that you should. Sorry, y'all. I recommend that y'all should be doing. So here's the thing. I got off social media a couple of days ago. Okay. I hop on, but I get back off because if I'm on too much, I find myself consuming all this paranoia, right? So I have to be extremely protective of my energy right now. So I basically allow myself to be fed what I want to be fed, but I made a decision to maximize this time. Now I've hopped on here a couple of times and I've shared with you guys, listen, y'all, this is the one time ever in history since we've been born that God shut the whole world down for you, right? Now, yeah, we got all this extenuating circumstances, and yeah, there's a whole lot going on, and yes, a lot of uncertainties, but here's what we have to do. This is the number one thing I'm gonna recommend you do. Change the narrative and the story that's in your head. Convince yourself that the world shut down for me because God wanted to protect me, to give me an opportunity to do the things that he's called me to do. I saw a video the other day from Danielle Laporte, and she reframed how she talked about this circumstance. And it was so beautiful. I was like, okay, that's what I need to do. I need to reframe the storyline in my head. Instead of telling myself that I'm on lockdown or the world is going in chaos, I'm in a sacred season where God is hiding me to position me, to plant me, to do the things that he's called me to do, right? If we reframe how we look at this thing, what happens is your energy shifts and your expectations, your intentions are going to shift. If we keep saying the whole whatever, Danielle Laporte did a great job. Follow her. She is absolutely amazing. But she talked about it. She was like, I'm not locked in. She was like, I'm protected. I am in my sacred space to be able to focus on the things that are going to advance my life, right? I am not dealing with chaos, but I'm dealing with advancement in my life. I'm being set up and being put in position to operate in the fullness of the things that God has called me to fulfill, right? I don't have to worry about, the health challenges that are going on around me. What I can do is take advantage of this time to build my system up so that I can really begin to protect this temple, that I can put the right things in my body, that I can begin to treat my body the way that it needs to be treated. It's the ability to shift the narrative of the storyline in your head, because if you do not, people, you will drive yourself crazy, okay? You will drive yourself crazy. The video was on Instagram. Go look her up. Her name is Danielle Laporte. She's really big. She does these soul sacred sessions, and I don't really buy a lot of her stuff, but I know her. I followed her for years, and when I saw that video, I was like, this video was for me. So the first thing that I recommend that you guys do is change the storyline that's going on in your head. And here's why. And I can't remember the word that they use, but they have had so many studies. I think it's the placebo effect. They've had so many studies that if somebody tells you something is going to heal you, let's say somebody has a pill. The pill might be a doggone vitamin C pill, right? And you might be dealing with some major, health ailment or something, and they tell you if you take this pill, it's going to heal you in 10 days. You're going to start expecting to be healed in 10 days. And so with your intentions and your energy, you'll be surprised how things begin to shift on your behalf. It's the psychological impact that our mental state can have on our physical state, right? It's all about the conversations we have in our head. But if you keep allowing yourself to engage in the negative tone of conversation, then what's going to happen is everything that you put your mind to and you begin to focus on, you're going to attract it. But if you change the storyline, right? I've been doing that for myself because I know God had prepared me for the season. There are things that he told me to do that I just didn't have the time to do. And it's like, now, Nicole, you ain't got nothing but time. No excuses. Okay? So first thing, y'all, is change the storyline. Whatever level of paranoia that is popping up in your life, find an alternative approach on how you view it for it to be beneficial on your behalf. So for example, oh my God, the whole world is in quarantine. No, the whole world ain't in quarantine. Oh my goodness, Lord, I thank you and I praise you for shutting the entire world down so that you gave me an opportunity to hit the reset button. Okay? Y'all see how we shift that narrative of the storyline? Because I got up early this morning. I got up at like 1 o'clock in the morning. And I wrote out all my content for the week. I usually have clients that I write content for them. And so I got up and I wrote all my content out for the week for myself. I was writing stuff for my clients. And as I was writing something for one of my clients, I was basically saying like, it's crazy. Before this happened, a lot of us were exhausted. We were burned out. We were tired. We wanted time. We were complaining about what we didn't have. And God is like, boom, here, I'm going to give it to you. And we have it. So it's like, all right, how can we maximize this time? So lesson number 1, y'all, change the storyline of how you view this. Doesn't mean you don't prepare. I'm still going to prepare for what I need to have in my home, right? But at the same time, we got to change the conversations in our head, or else we're going to fall into being a nervous wreck, okay? The second thing that I recommend you do is focus on, I think, is it the 3 P's or the 4 P's? I was writing this down this morning. Focus on your plan, right, of what you're going to do during this time. Because what we do, let's just say we are in this position for 30 days or 60 days. What you do today will dictate where you will be 30 to 60 days from now. Y'all, I am watching people before my eyes become millionaires right now. There are people who money is popping, even on Airbnb. I was looking at going to get an Airbnb somewhere. Yesterday, I reached out to a couple of Airbnb hosts, and I was like, hey, would you do a flat rate? Because I'm assuming I'm going to be there for the month. All of them were all fair game for me being in that Airbnb. Yesterday, the rates were decent, $104 a night, $124 a night. I got on there this morning, y'all. They wanted $5,000 a night for these apartment buildings. And all of a sudden, all the prices skyrocketed. So I was talking back and forth to a couple of them. And I was like, what happened? He was like, we just got a surge of people who now want to go into an Airbnb during this quarantine. So now you got people, I don't know if they're paying it, but these people went from charging $120 a night to $5,000 a night for Airbnb. And then the ones that I saw that was like $1,600, $1,800, $2,000 a night, I looked at the booking availability. Yesterday, I went to them and looked at them, and they may have had a couple of days for the next month. Some of them had the whole couple of next months blocked off, right? And here's the reality. Somebody is capable of paying $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 a night right now to go to an Airbnb. Why am I saying that? Because most of us are being fed doom and gloom. Most of us are being fed that doors are closing and nothing is available. What we don't know is that people are out here who are in position making and really taking advantage of this transference of wealth in this season, right? transference of wealth in this season. And that's another thing. We have to really begin to program our mind to tell us that I don't care what's going on in the economy, but because I am a child of God, God said that he's going to take the wealth of the wicked and lay it up for the righteous, and I am the righteous. I'm walking. The Bible says that I've never seen the righteous forsaken nor his seed begging bread. So I stand as the righteous of God. I am a child of a royal priesthood. That means that God is positioning me for that wealth to be transferred into my account. So I am going to be honorable with my time. I'm going to redeem my time. I'm going to do the things that God has called me to do. I'm going to be obedient with the vision that he's given me. I'm going to move forward into the things that he's called me to do. I'm going to take advantage of this time. I'm going to be proactive, productive, prepare, and I'm going to plan. And I'm also going to be profitable in this season. And I'm going to position myself to do the things that God has called me to do so that I can be able to receive the transference of wealth that is taking place. That's what we have to begin to tell ourselves, because money is circulating right now. Wealth is circulating right now. Everybody is not living in the doom and gloom. There were people who have been preparing for this, who've been, I don't want to say they wanted, they've been knowing it's coming, and they've been putting themselves in position expecting for it to come, and they've been positioning themselves to take advantage of these opportunities. And here's what we have to understand, you guys. At the end of the day, like this, there's tons and tons of historical things that has happened. And on the other side of this is going to be hardship for several people. But it's also going to be advancement for several people. And we have to choose. We have to choose. I was talking to my mom yesterday about people who don't see stuff, who don't have vision. And they want to argue you down about what you see when you do have vision. And I said, Mom, at this point, it's not our responsibility to try to convince people of what's about to take place. All we can do is take advantage of what God has shown us and do what we need to do. Because at the end of the day, those people who don't see it, those people who don't equip themselves, they don't prepare themselves, they don't do what they need to do, guess who they're gonna be calling when it's time for them to try to get some kind of help and support? They're gonna think about the person that told them what was going to take place, and all of a sudden, you were right, I should have listened to you. But here's what we can't do. We cannot hold our lives back because other people can't see what we see, right? And so you have to begin to change your narrative, because I'm seeing, don't get me wrong, I've watched a couple of Netflix films or whatever, but I honestly don't have time to sit back and Netflix and chill. This is not a vacation season for me. This is not time to sit around and try to get in some extra sleep. This is not time for me to think to myself, oh gosh, I'm about to just, do nothing. No, this is advancement season. This is when you take advantage of the time that you have, and you equip yourself and you position yourself to move things forward. Now is a time and a sense of urgency for you to make sure that you do not be without and on the other side of this situation. We all hear the headlines. We all know what's going on. The question mark is what are you going to do in this pocket of time that you have to ensure that you are setting yourself up for a different alternative? If you are right now talking about, man, I wish I would have known. I knew I should have did this. Me too. I had the same thing. I knew this was coming. There was things that I should have did that I didn't do. You have all these shoulda, coulda, wouldas. Well, guess what? We're still in it, and you still have time, and it is not too late to start making a shift into the things that you need to do to prepare yourself and to equip yourself. All right? So the first thing is change the narrative of the storyline. The second thing is the 4 P's. Have a plan, be productive, get positioned, and get profitable. All right, people, because here's the thing, and I'm doing a workshop tomorrow on teaching people, and I'm doing workshops all throughout the week. Tomorrow, our workshop is how to price and package your services for profits. All right, you can go to NicoleSCooper.com/services, and you can join us. I'm showing people how to turn their skills into an opportunity for them to pay their bills, where you got money generated from what it is that you know, and you can turn it into income. And what I'm doing, today I wrote out my emails, and I went this morning at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, because I worked from 1 o'clock this morning to 7 this morning writing out content. And I looked this morning at 3 o'clock this morning, or whatever time it was, for new jobs that came up. Y'all, I found so many remote jobs from all over the country paying $20, $25 an hour. Another one was looking for an administrative assistant between $70,000 to $80,000 a year, right? People are looking for virtual workers. People are looking to hire people who are remote and at home. So while folks are out here worried about losing their jobs, there's a ton of people trying to hire people for positions that it's like, I saw another girl just post that she's been pursuing a contract for 3 years, right? She's been pursuing a contract for 3 years. She does consulting. And she said she would send a case study every single month faithfully to this corporation. Well, guess what? The corporation reached out to her last Friday. She said, over the years, they got her case studies and they didn't do anything with it, but they finally started firing people, like basically laying people off, and they're hiring consultants to come in and take over the role of what these people were doing. Some of you guys got skills and talents and stuff that people need to hire you for right now, but because you so caught up in Netflixing and chilling, sleeping later, you're going to take advantage of this time and catch up on your rest, you missing out on an opportunity that can set you up in 30 to 60 days from now, where you're not one of those people saying, I can't afford to pay my bills anymore. Because guys, we know the shift is coming, but how do you change the narrative in your head about where you're going to be on the other side of this thing? And so what I want to recommend to you guys, step number 1, change the narrative. Step number 2, implement the 4 P's, where you have a plan, you are productive, you are positioned, and you are profitable. And then the third thing is be proactive. Get to work. Y'all, listen, I'm telling you guys, this is where it counts for where people are on the other side of this situation. And I cannot tell you how many times I've sat down with a plan and I've said to myself, I wish that I could do X, Y, and Z. And the crazy thing is that all those things that I had mapped out, all I have to do now, y'all, is I'm pulling the blueprints out and I'm going to work. All the stuff that used to be roadblocks, where I got caught up in building out stuff and it would take me forever to build it, and I got caught up in the strategy of it, and I kept thinking too long and overthinking stuff, and I was worried about this and worried about that and had to have the graphics right. Listen, man, I'm whipping up graphics in 2 minutes. I'm building out quick little pages and I'm getting my stuff out there in 30 minutes or less. This is not the time to perfect, to procrastinate, to overthink stuff, to over strategize, to listen, I don't have time for that. Time is of the essence. Be proactive. Get out there. Do what you got to do. And I, it's like, this is one of those things where you can see how, and I always used to tell people, in life, you'll discover that there's not a lot of competition. When I was in real estate, I remember when I got into real estate back in the day, I wanted to be the best real estate agent in the company. And I wanted to be the best real estate agent in the country, right? That was my goal. I was 20-something-year-old kid. I always wanted to be a businesswoman. I always wanted to be a real estate investor. I always wanted to be wealthy. And I just remember they had this whole library of resources upstairs. We had a library at our real estate office. And they told me, it gave me a key to the office, and they said, you can come here 24 hours a day. You got full access. I was like, oh, I can go upstairs to the library too? And they were like, yeah. I didn't know nothing about real estate. I kind of fell into it because another business that I had collapsed. And I was like, well, I don't know how to do real estate, but I'm about to go upstairs to the library. Yeah, I kid you not. I would get up at 3 o'clock every single morning, and I would be in that library by 4 a.m. every single morning, watching every tape that I could watch. Back then it was VHS tapes and it was cassette tapes, and and they had these big old jumbo books that you had to go through that gave you strategies. It wasn't all this internet stuff. This is early 2000s. And I would go in that office and I would go and take every resource I could in that library in the real estate business and learn strategies about how to build a real estate business. And guess what it was teaching me to do? It was teaching me to do the stuff that nobody wanted to do. Go knock on doors, go handshake with neighborhoods and communities, farm communities, create newsletters, mail them out to homes, do all this stuff that was work, right? Well, guess what? I have free resources. I started printing out newsletters, going door to door, knocking on doors. I kid you not. A year after I started doing this, I was one of the top agents in the entire company of thousands of people. I was on billboards all over the city. I was on benches and magazines and this, that. And guess what people would do to me? Man, how did you do this? What is it that you're doing? How did you get this business? And what do I see them doing all day? Standing over the water cooler, talking, hanging out in the kitchen, shooting a breeze, sitting at their desk, waiting for the phone to ring, not putting forth no effort to get out into the streets to go get the business. And I realized back then, you know what? Being successful is super easy for the people willing to do the simple things that it might seem boring and mundane, but it's going to give you the advancement that you need to propel your business, your life, and your career to where you wanted it to be. And I learned a long time ago that it's the small, mundane, boring things that people overlook and don't want to do that sets them up and makes a big difference and creates a big gap in economic status, because they're willing to be consistent in doing the simple things that does not sound fun and sexy. And so right now, y'all, a lot of the stuff that you got to do at home may not be fun and sexy. You need to pull out them video trainers that you done spent money on. You need to hop on all these doggone free, everybody giving free master classes. I'm doing pay what you can. If you sit sitting down talking about you worried about if you're going to have another job on the other side of this, and you got money sitting in your bank account, you better put a portion of that into some skill you can learn that's going to advance your income. People got stuff out here for free for $10, $15, $20. It's up to you on how you want to invest this. I know we all piling up our refrigerator with food that's going to get us fat, but what about knowledge that's going to set you up and get you profitable? At the end of the day, you got to make a decision on if you're going to commit to doing the simple things that's going to make a dramatic difference about where you want to be on the other side. I see a lot of people super complacent. They think this going to, oh, this will pass over in 2 weeks. This is, this ain't no big deal. Oh, it's all good. Everybody's just they just in a frantic panic. Yeah, well, let me see where you are 2 months from now. I'm going to see the difference in your gesture and in your body and behavior and your mannerisms when things start hitting the fan, and you're going to be saying, oh, well, why didn't nobody tell me? Because I tell people there are 3 types of people in the world. You got the people that make stuff happen. You got the people that watch things happen. And you got the people that ask, what happened? Right? The people that make things happen, the people that watch things happen, and then the people that ask, what happened? Don't be the person sitting around so lost in this time, not doing nothing, that you got to ask what happened, or that this catch you off guard and you watching other people set themselves up, and on the other side, you not prepared. I'm telling y'all right now, if you don't redeem the time right now and set yourself up and begin to zone in, it's so crazy because I've had this mental block all these years trying to perfect stuff, comparing myself, overthinking things, worrying. Man, please, God is like, turn social media off and get to work. And the minute I sit down and start working, I'm like, it's crazy, all this stuff that's inside of me that I have not released because I overthink and over strategize and overdo stuff. Now's the time to be proactive and get to work. So here's the deal. I'm doing several different workshops. And if you get on my workshop, I promise you'll find some income generating opportunity. You guys can go on over and go to register for thelifepurposeschool.com. I'm sending out emails there, thelifepurposeschool.com. And tomorrow I'm doing a workshop on how to price and package your skills, your services for profit. I'm showing you guys, how do you price what kind of services do you have? How do you price them? How do you find people who want them? How do you create a simple sales page so that you can sell them? And how do you go out and promote yourself to get right now business right now? You got to be proactive. Go to NicoleSCooper.com/services and sign up. It is a pay what you can class. Y'all, on Saturday, I spent 4 hours with my students. 4 hours. I was like, who needs help? Tell me what you need help with. Let's do it right now. And we were on the Zoom and we were cranking stuff out, and they just couldn't believe the amount of time that I spent with them, which is usually thousands of dollars that coaches will spend with somebody, so I can help people be proactive. So y'all go and register NicoleSCooper.com/services for tomorrow's class. Nicole, somebody put it in the comments. NicoleSCooper.com/services. Okay, NicoleSCooper.com/services. And you can sign up for that class. You can also get on my email list at thelifepurposeschool.com. So Sinitra, if you can put that in the comments for me, please. Or Lisa, I think this is all delayed, so I can't see. But if you can put that in the comments. But y'all, it is time to be proactive. So I'm sharing that with you guys. I gotta go. I got stuff that I have to do and a few more things that I have to pick up. Thank you, Lisa. And y'all take advantage of what's going on. I got multiple workshops that I'm going to be rolling out. And so stay tuned for these things that are going to come up. But y'all, I'm telling you, take advantage. This is a game changer. This is where there's no more middle class. This is about to be where it's going to be either you have or you don't. And you got to figure out in this transitional season how to go into the haves. If you do not, on the other side of this thing, you're going to be sitting with your hand in your head trying to figure out, how did I get here? Because guys, this is the season of preparation, and it's not about what you know. It's about what you do with what you know and how you are proactive and take action on the things that are essential to set you up so that you can make sure that you are in position. All right. So that's it. I got to go. NicoleSCooper.com/services. All right. With an S. Okay. Services. All right. I got to go. Y'all have a great one, and I'll be doing this workshop tomorrow, and I'm gonna do an Ask Me Anything later on today too. So I'll put that up. Tamisha, make sure that link works. Does it work, y'all? Make sure that link works. All right, I gotta go. Y'all have a good one. Bye, y'all.